such as we are attempting to do the Barnabas Project, is the missionary is sort of thrust out there all by himself. It's him and his wife and his children in most cases. And it's awfully lonely, and you get awfully needy for fellowship and for a letter, or you need... There were times we'd go to the post office 3 times a day, open that post office box to see if there was something in there. Somebody might have sent us a letter. It's awfully lonely out there by yourself. And there's no one to talk to, and you get tired of talking to your husband and your wife after a while, so, you know, the Lord directs you, of course. But there is such a need for a visit. There are some missions when someone dies, like a missionary's wife died, they send a former missionary who goes down and stays with this family for a period of time to help them. Do you realize what it means if my husband had died in Brazil, what I would have had to deal with by myself there? It would be quite complicated and quite disturbing. There are many ways of ministering to missionaries, and it's so needed, and we just don't need to forget them. When a missionary goes, he goes knowing that his support is completely up to the Lord. I mean, you don't have a promise today or tomorrow that, you know, they'll tell you, the missions committee now tells you, they estimate what it costs you to live in the country you're going to, and they'll say you need to raise $5,000 a month to be able to live and do a ministry there. And you think, $5,000 a month, you've got to raise that out of churches just like Rivers of Joy. And that's a really phenomenal thing to think. I've got to travel all over the United States of America and present my ministry to people like you and say, if you know, I'm going there, the Lord willing, and if you should feel that God would have you to support me, that would be a great thing. And then sometimes they go under-supported, and you're so strapped for finances. Very, very discouraging to be without finances. Most of you truly know what that means anyway. Not to have enough money to provide for your needs. And the missionary is not only providing for his needs, he is financing his own ministry. It's like Charles coming here and paying the rent on this building and the electricity on this building out of his personal salary that is coming from a group of churches from somewhere else, and he's paying for it. That's what the missionary does. He pays for it all until you get the church big enough and grow it enough and people begin to realize tithing and offerings are what supports the church. The missionary pays for it all, you know. And so it's not just money that is going for popcorn and bubble gum, you know, that you...
Tell me about what the average income is there.
Well, the average income is probably what they say 2 salaries now, and a salary a month is about $150 a month, so maybe $300 a month might be a good salary for a lot of the people. And that's has improved a lot, because it used to be like $20 a month when we first went. $20 a month, $40 a month is what people made. The poorer people, now you've always had rich people. You've always got rich people all over everywhere. But the common person, that's about what they live on. But it is a ministry that has a calling involved in it. And so therefore you can say, the Lord has called me there, He will provide for me, and I will go. And I will take my children, I will take my husband, I will take my wife, whatever. You know, I felt the Lord called me to be a missionary, but I was not going to go. I told you that before. My husband had a call, and he told me where we were going, and that's where I went. But, you know, it was a very difficult thing to do. But the Lord has so many things that we all can do. And if you can't go, you can still give, and you can still pray, and you can still write a letter, And you can send a Christmas card or a birthday card, or you can send a little brown envelope sometime to a missionary kid that includes some juicy fruit and hope that the people don't take it out before they get it. But there's so many ways that you can encourage ministers. And I would even go so far as to say there are struggling pastors and churches here that also could use the brotherhood of other churches to encourage them as well. There are small churches in a lot of places. The pastors are not making any money much to speak of, and they could use a word of encouragement as well. So it's not just to the foreign field that these things are a blessing, to be able to minister to someone else. But I love the Lord. I've never been sorry that I went to Brazil. I love the people. The people were surprised when I remarried, and I knew they would be. They loved Cecil very much, and that does not change because he's in the home in heaven. But they did, the one who is kind of my son in the ministry, he was the one that said, I at first was angry when I heard that you'd married again, because they feel like you're being a little bit disloyal, to their missionary, the one they loved. But then when Bob came and they met him, and they loved him, and I knew they would love him, and and they are glad that they're very happy for me that I have married Bob, and he is a blessing to me. He is my blessing. The Lord gave him to me. So the folks were funny. We had this one young couple that we met at John Hawkins's church, and this one guy, he loves to joke, and we were at the service, and so we walked in and we sat down. Of course, we don't look like them because we're white. They're not real dark. But this is automatically known we're Americans. So we came in and we sat down behind him, and he kind of turned around and looked at us, and he said something, and I answered him in Portuguese, and he went, what? You speak Portuguese? I said, oh yeah. Well, how long you been here? I said, well, I've been here for 40 years, off and on. He said, oh, well, yeah, you speak Portuguese. He said, so I told him, introduced Bob to him, and he said, he looked at his white hair, and he said, how old is he? And I said, he's 79. 79? Can he walk? And I said, yes, he can walk.
He was fun.
He was so much fun.
Yeah, we had fun.
And so then he just began to joke and tease, and it was just hilarious. So it was just an instant friendship formed between us. So that was on Sunday night, and we were coming back on whatever day, Tuesday, I believe, Tuesday, whatever day it was. And as the one thing when you're there, get your bags packed the day before, because sure as the world they're going to show up that night, and they're going to show up the morning you're leaving, and you better have your bags packed because they're going to come, and you have to be ready to go because they're coming. We looked up, and here came a car came in, and it was this young couple, and they came out. We'd only met them on Sunday night, and it just became we just bonded. And so they came out there and said, listen, when you come back, the first thing you do, you come back and you call us. We're going to take you out to eat. My boss owns a place down in Fortaleza, which is down on the coast. I'm going to put you on a plane. We're going to drive down there. We're going to fly down there. We're not driving. We're going to fly down there, and we're going to take you on the sand dunes. And we said, oh, that's great.
Dune buggy?
Dune buggy. I said, that's great. We'll call you the minute we get here. And so he said, do you really have to go? Yeah, we have to go. So then he says, okay. I'm crying, but you can go.
Crying.
And so he's
I had my orange chair, put his arm down alongside of mine.
And he put his hands down by Bob, and he said, look at this. This is coffee and milk.
His coffee, my
coffee and milk. But they are wonderful people, and when they love the Lord, they love you. They love you, and if they could come here to visit you, you would love them, and they would love you. So it's a ministry that is ongoing. Right now there are 33 churches in the city of Manaus that are results of our ministry, the Hawkins' ministry, and the other pastors who have gone out and formed other...
The Institute.
And the Institute, because there are 33 churches there. Churches there are local, like right here at Minford, this is a local church. If you didn't have a car, you're not going to run all the way to Portsmouth to visit Portsmouth Baptist Temple. You're not doing it if you don't have the car. And you don't have the money to pay a bus fare for you and your 6 kids to go down there and come back. You're not going to do that. So the churches are local. And if this was in Brazil, and you could go about a mile down the road and you could put another church there. And you'd have about 400 people in that several blocks of places because they're all so densely populated. And you'd have another church, you know. So there's not an end. There's no end to where you could plant a church. And the problem is they don't have the finances. And that is one of the projects that we want to help them with. If they can buy a piece of property, and their idea of a piece of property is nothing like this beautiful property that you have here. This is a beautiful property. You have a big wide piece and it's long enough. You have a lovely property here. And you have a beautiful building.